Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for being here. Shout out to the 19. Some of those videos yesterday hit home, y'all. I was kind of with you guys. It was kind of wild. I truly appreciate all the support. Been a long time since I've seen a video get over 1,000 likes for one video. So thank you, each and every one of you. Truly do appreciate it. Um, I want to play an interesting clip, and I want to take this from the perspective of a coach, and I want to take all the drama out of it. I want to go back to the clips of Stephanie White talking about when asked about Kelsey Mitchell last year, and then Stephanie White being asked about Caitlin Clark's historic fourth quarter. And then I'm going to give you a clip of Steve Kerr talking to Steph Curry when Steph isn't shooting well. And the reason I want to do that, and I want to go back to those because it sets up the next thing, which is a clip from Caitlin Clark. And you can see the impact, the negative impact in what Caitlin Clark says, which hurts her performance, hurts her confidence because of Stephanie White's approach. And I'm taking out the whole, oh, Stephanie White was brought here to diminish Caitlin Clark. She doesn't like Caitlin Clark and all of that. And I want to just look at it from, man, and I say this again, as a coach, did I coach professional athletes? No. I'm trying to think if any of my college players, I think one of them plays semi-pro over in England. Does that count? But I coached 7-year-olds to 19-year-olds. I trained individually college players. So I have an idea how coaches need to approach their players to help them get the best out of their talents and help them even more so with their mental game and their confidence. It's absolutely huge. I wrote a freaking book on it. It hit #1. I'm just saying. I have a little perspective. All right, that rant was a little bit for all the clowns who just keep trashing the Caitlin Clark fans because they dare to be critical when stuff doesn't go well. Anyway, so let's get to these clips and then we'll get to Caitlin. I think you'll find this pretty interesting. So what we have here is where did it go? All right, here we go. Hold on.
Start, I guess, with Kelsey Mitchell and what she did to Grammy was something else.
Yeah, I mean, it's speechless, really. You know, she was, 0 for 7 in the first half and 4 points, and just put us on her back. Made big shot after big shot, big play after big play. She didn't settle. She stayed aggressive, and, you know, she willed us.
She was absolutely giddy to be asked that question about Kelsey Mitchell and have the chance to praise Kelsey Mitchell. And I have no problem with that, okay? That's not the point. But then when she's asked about Caitlin Clark, her star player, who had an historic fourth quarter, brought him back from 13 down, 17 points in the quarter, 5 threes. She gets asked specifically about Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, Steph, what did you think of the rally that your team had in the fourth quarter, particularly when it comes to Caitlin? I think she made 5 threes in that fourth quarter, more than her first 2 games combined. So just your thoughts on the resilience from her.
I thought our whole group showed resilience, you know, in that rally. You know, we showed the ability to make tough shots. We had some really good time and score execution moments, offensively and defensively, you know, in those moments. We just have to have more of it consistently.
Can I see the clips of all the time? I mean, that's pathetic, guys. Seriously, that is childish behavior. That is absolutely absurd for a coach to get asked about an historic performance in the fourth quarter and a comeback from her star player. And she literally did not have one single word that was positive to say about Caitlin Clark. Completely ignored it. Now, let's get into and shout out to Fire Steph White. Obviously, that was changed recently, but I appreciate them finding this clip. This is Steve Kerr talking to future Hall of Famer Steph Curry in a couple of different clips. Hopefully, you can hear this all because they put some music into this, and can be a problem a lot with YouTube, but fingers crossed.
I'll show you. That's your shooting totals. That's your plus minus. All right, so it's not always tied together. You're doing great stuff out there. The tempo is so different when you're out there. Everything you generate for us is so positive. It shows up here, not always there, but it always shows up here. You're doing great. Carry on, my son. I love it. One of the things I love about you is you're like 2 for 11. No hesitation shooting a 60-footer. Nobody in the league does that. You have so much confidence in yourself. And within games like this, you turn it around like that. It's awesome. Amazing. Wish I had your confidence. I'm not going to wake you up. I'm just going to put you in, but I'm about 4 minutes, but I'm not going to wake you up. I'd love to feel whatever the hell you're feeling right now, just once in my life. For me, like, if I went like 5 for 6 and made 4 threes, that was about the best I ever did. Will Chamberlain, congratulations. That's awesome.
Anyone who thinks that doesn't matter has never been involved in these situations. Trust me, it matters. And the other thing I'll tell you, it also takes individual approaches with different players, which is one thing that is a challenge for coaches without a doubt. But there are ways you can talk to certain players that you can't talk to others if you want to get the best out of them to build up their confidence. Steve Kerr gets it. Stephanie White has no clue. She is a child. She is an immature, pouty, narcissistic little child. And it's hurting Caitlin Clark, which is what we're going to get to right now. I promise you, those clips you saw from Stephanie White directly caused this.
Started hesitating a little bit and, probably have hesitated a little bit to start the season. And, I don't need to do that. Like, I'm best when I'm just letting it fly. So
You're going to tell me that that has nothing to do with Stephanie White. That is 100% because of Stephanie White's approach to Caitlin Clark. Do you hear Steve Kerr and the way he talks to Steph Curry? That's one of the reasons Steph Curry has the confidence to do that. One of the reasons he has the confidence to shoot any shot at any time, regardless of whether he made the last 3 or missed the last 8. Stephanie White is constantly criticizing Caitlin Clark, constantly pouting about Caitlin Clark every time she shoots. Every time she shoots. Especially every time she shoots a three-pointer. Hell, she does it every time she throws a pass that Stephanie White could never dream of throwing. And that is why you get this. And that is why can't remember if I talked about it yesterday, but I absolutely noticed it in games. Caitlin Clark is passing up shots that Caitlin Clark before Stephanie White never would pass those shots up. Never. She would take them. And you know who that hurts? It hurts Caitlin Clark. It also hurts the entire team because you need Caitlin Clark to be taking those shots. And here's the other thing I'll add to, and here's where we get to the danger. Now, I don't know how many players care. It's a unique situation with Caitlin Clark in the WNBA compared to the rest of the league, but players notice. I mean, Clark is noticing what's going on when Stephanie White answers questions like that. Okay. And she's dealing with that constant negativity and negative feedback from Stephanie White every single day. That wears on you. I don't care if you're a professional athlete, man. It matters. The mental performance approach matters. Confidence is huge, whether you have it or not. If you lack it, it's a problem, no matter how much skill you have. When you have tons of it, you're probably going to play above your skill level, at least for a short period of time. It is huge. I cannot stress this enough. It is one of the biggest things that I focus on with coaching, one of the biggest things I delved into, trying to learn every single thing I can about it so I can help my players be incredibly confident and get the most out of everything that they have, so that then when they're done, no matter what level they reach because of their physical innate talent, they've maximized how far they can go and how much they can develop. And you do not do that unless you make a conscious approach to attack the mental game for them and build up their confidence. And Stephanie White does nothing but tear down Caitlin Clark from a mental performance aspect, from a confidence aspect. The locker room notices too, man. Don't make any mistake, and that's why I said I don't know how much they care because it's the WNBA. But when your coach is constantly not only criticizing your star player, but refusing to publicly celebrate them or at least acknowledge, at the very least, a good performance, your best player's maybe biggest performance, one of the WNBA's biggest performances in terms of a fourth quarter comeback and an individual player and what they accomplished, it absolutely sends a message to the locker room. It sends a message to the entire team, and it is not a good message. It is not a good message. It is a bad message. This is a problem. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate y'all. Go have the day you deserve. I will talk to you later.